4 points from our first two league matches and a championship scalp in the cup to go with it. The Ben Garner era has certainly got off to a very positive start. But today we head to Hillsborough to face the League One promotion favourites Sheffield Wednesday. Having been beaten in the playoffs last season, they'll be targeting a place in the top two this time around. And today's game will definitely give us a good indicator of where we are at. Here's a look of what's coming up before kick-off. As I said a moment ago, the Ben Garner era has started well, and we'll hear exclusively from the man himself in a few minutes' time. We'll also hear from former Owl Sean Clare, who has made a great start to the season in his new look right-back position. And as well as that, we'll get the first words from our newest signing, Jez Raksaki, who joined the club on a season-long loan from Crystal Palace on Thursday. Well, I am delighted to be back, and I'm delighted I've got my two henchmen alongside me in Curbs and Brownie. Chaps, how are you? Are you cool enough? We got the aircon, we got a fan.
Well, yeah, we're all right. We're all right at the moment.
Oh yeah, at the moment, just about. Yeah, 2:45's coming up for us, and I'm dreading it, to be honest.
Look, I mean, I have to say, Brownie, it's been a good start to the season, hasn't it?
Very good
results-wise.
Yeah, really positive, I think, in terms of you got to Accrington and you get your point, and you back it up here with a win. And look. The realistic me says we perhaps are lucky to be on 4 points, but we are on 4 points and we have to take that. We've managed to dig in the first half against Derby, not concede a goal when we were not at our best, and we've come out and turned that round. So credit to the team. I thought there was a lot of character shown last Saturday because they could have easily come out and got beaten again in the second half and conceded, and we didn't. We upped our game second half. Derby couldn't match the first half performance, and the important bit is we scored the goal.
Curbs, you were here on Tuesday night for the QPR game. Before the game, Ben Garner was talking about he wants to create a winning culture, winning mentality, which all managers do, of course. Easy to say, not easy to achieve, but we've made a decent start so far, haven't we?
No. Listen, we got the point at Accrington, and, you know, perhaps unlucky not to have the free because of the lateness of the goal. And rode our luck in the first half here, but we did say at half-time last week that Derby will pay the price by not scoring, and they did. We was much better in the second half. I liked our fitness levels, I must admit, in the Derby game. You know, as Steve said, we took a bit of a chasing in the first half, but came good in the second half. I came here Tuesday and watched the rest of the squad, if you like, and forget the result, the performance here in midweek, I thought, you know, it's made the squad a little bit stronger. I was looking at some of the players that were playing, thinking, well, you could play. Definitely can play first team football.
That's what you want. That's from a managerial point of view, isn't it?
And a couple of young players really stood out. The left back looks a bit of a find. First time I've seen him in midweek. Claydon, is it?
Yeah, Claydon.
Claydon. And you know, he looked comfortable. And obviously the young boy that come on and scored the rasper. You know, what a great goal. So yeah, we was champion Miles Leaburn a week ago.
Yeah. And
looks like we've got another couple because they really played well in midweek.
Absolutely. And lots to come before kick-off. But let's head up to Hillsborough now, shall we? And hear from Ollie Groom, who can tell us a little bit more about today's surroundings.
Thanks, Scott. Welcome to Hillsborough, where it's a lovely, lovely sunny day. Allegedly, it's going to be 30 degrees come 3 p.m. later today, so it's going to be a real hot one, real challenging one again for the lads. We're going to have around 800 supporters here in the Leppings Lane end, just behind me. Just over 700 have already bought tickets for the game. You'd probably expect another 100 or so making their way, buying tickets on the day. So it's a really good following, considering no trains, not an easy way to get up here today. So real big thumbs up to the Addicts following today, because they're really going to make their voices heard, and they're going to have to be, because this stadium, as you all know, is a real famous old ground. They really get the place rocking. They have hi-ho silver lining before kick-off. It really gets the place jumping, so that's something to look forward to for both sets of players. Kit-wise, we'll be in the red today, of course, because they'll be wearing blue and white, which is both of our change strip colours, so it's in the home red colours for Charlton today. And the pitch, just finally, as you'd expect, second week of August, beginning of the season, it's in pristine condition, so real good for both sides to get the ball down and playing some good football today. Now, one thing left to talk about now is Ben Garner and what he had to say ahead of today's game. Let's hear what he had to say yesterday to Charlton TV.
Ben, 4 points from your first two games, league games that is, and a cup scalp too. You must be delighted with the start you've made to the season. Yeah,
we're very pleased with the start that we've made. We now want to build on that. You know, we're certainly not resting on our laurels. It's a decent start, but for me, we need to improve, we need to get better, and we'll be looking to do that on Saturday against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday to come Saturday. Do you know much about the side?
Yeah, we've watched them in detail. I mean, obviously they're opening 3 games of the season. I saw them a few times last season. Know their manager Darren Moore and his assistant Jamie Smith very well. 2 really good guys, 2 really good coaches. We know that they'll be organised. We know that they'll be set up well in what they do. So we're expecting a tough game. We know we're going to have to play very well to win. But that's obviously our aim and what we want to do.
Without giving too much away, you've obviously, as you say, looked at them and you found a way that we can hurt them.
Yeah, in any game. For me, every single game you play is winnable. You know, if we're playing Man City or Liverpool tomorrow, I would still think the game is winnable. You have to find a way. You know, it's difficult in certain games and you've got to be probably near perfect. But there's always a way to win a game, and yeah, we've analysed their strengths. We know what we've got to do to sort of cope with them and stop them, if you like. But we also identify ways where we think we can hurt them and we can get control of the game in the manner that we want. So we're looking forward to it. The lads are in really good spirits especially after Tuesday night. We'll enjoy the journey up there today and an evening in the hotel, and then prepare right for the game.
And going back to us, you said it's a good start. What's pleased you most about the start to this season?
I think the togetherness and the team spirit has been the standout for me. I think performances have been lots of positives in there, but certainly things we need to improve on. But the overall collective, the desire and the team spirit has been evident. It really has. To respond the way we did second half against Derby, really, really pleasing. A point away at Accrington, difficult place to go. And then the response, I thought a really good performance Tuesday night, but the response when we went behind to then, you know, want to get that equaliser, want to go on and try and win the game, was a great sign for us, because on a performance level, I expect us to improve week on week, month on month. But if we've got that togetherness and that team spirit, that's going to be important where we're not quite at our best, or there's moments in the game where we have to suffer. We've got that togetherness and we've got that character that can get us through.
And we don't want to tempt fate, but if we can win on Saturday, would that potentially then lay down a marker for the rest of the division?
Well, I'm not too concerned what other people think of us, if I'm honest, and for me it's just about us. I want to win because it puts us in a great place and give us really good momentum going into back-to-back home games. It would be fantastic, but we're not getting ahead of ourselves. We know it's a difficult game. We've just got to focus on that performance. We're going to have to be really, really good in all areas tomorrow. That's our aim, that's our focus.
Yeah, no surprises there, really. Just looking forward to the next game, which is, of course, at Hillsborough, as we say. I love his positivity about Liverpool and Manchester City. And Sheffield Wednesday might be playing like them today. They certainly did last season, but we'll wait and see. So just the one change from last week's win against Derby. That's George Dobson in for Conor McGrandles in that 4-3-3 formation. Brownie, what do you make of it?
Yeah, standard change, I think. I think George come on and you'd have to say the game did change. We were on the back foot very much for the first half hour, and I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but he did offer us that defensive stability, and they I think they quite like LB in Dobson's position for what he can offer, passing range wise, and you know, being on the front foot.
But he's not really a defensive holder, is he?
And I think last weekend we needed that defensive stability behind the ball, as Derby were in control of the game possession-wise, pretty much by and large for the first 40 minutes. But when George came on, we did show signs of getting better. And in that last 5 or 10 minutes of the first half, it did start to change. But Curbs mentioned something about fitness earlier, and I thought Derby, I thought it was a two-way switch. I thought we looked strong, but they weren't getting tight, they weren't getting in our faces, they weren't pressing like they were in the first half. So it's, you know, the second half for us was very, very strong, but George, even in that second half where we were strong, still made some incredible challenges.
Good to see Charles Claydon on the bench there alongside Miles Leeburn as well. Obviously 2 youngsters coming through the ranks. But in terms of the 11, Curbs, you know, good balance. I personally like the 4-3-3 formation, but the right players for you in there?
Yeah, and I'm glad to see Innes has come through the week, because we was fearing halfway through that second half he was holding his back for whatever reason, so you know, he needs to stay fit. I think he could be a real asset if he does. I'm just a bit concerned with Kirk and Blackett-Taylor. I thought Blackett-Taylor could do more damage on that left-hand side, because he can check in on his right foot and go down the outside as well. But Kirk, I think we really do need to see, he needs a run in the team.
It's a big season for him.
Yeah, he needs a run in the team. I like the way he made the goal last week, first touch down the line. Yeah, so there's a couple there. As I say, Kirk, Dobson, who was really angry, I thought, being left out on Saturday. And
You like that though, don't you?
Yeah, and it showed it when he came on.
I think that's why he dropped me so much. Try to cattle prod me a little bit. Yeah, a little cattle prod.
Let's move on to the league table then, shall we? It's the first time we're showing it this season, and we only need to look into the top half because that's where we are in 5th. I've spoken to the EFL and they've said no, the season can't finish now, so we do have to play the other 44 matches, I'm afraid. Look, Peterborough, the early league leaders, having won both matches, scoring 3 in the goals in each one. Newly promoted Exeter occupy the other automatic spot thanks to goal difference as well. There's Bolton, obviously today's opponent Sheffield Wednesday. There's Accrington in there and Ipswich just outside on goals scored as well. So, Brownie, what do you think? Can the momentum of promotion carry Exeter far? I remember you saying at the start of the season about Bolton being your dark horse.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to judge after 2 games. What I will say is there's only one with 100% record after 2 games.
That was my next question. What does that tell us?
Yeah, it kind of sums up the league, doesn't it? There's only 7 that are unbeaten already, you know, and that's quite extraordinary. You normally have 2 or 3 teams early on, maybe more than that actually, that are unbeaten and have 100% records. So it just shows that it seems to be an even league at the start of the season. I always expect the ones with the squads that are stronger in depth to get stronger as the season goes on. You know, they're less impacted by injuries and sending offs, etc., etc. So you expect the bigger squads, the squads that have better strength in depth to come through the second half of the season, perhaps. So you will get a few surprises, I think, in the early stages of the season.
Yeah, let's have a look at the fixtures then, shall we, in League One. A full fixture list, and second placed Exeter travelled to Cambridge and scored 7 at Cheltenham in midweek cup action. 2 of the newly relegated sides in Derby and Barnsley go head-to-head at Pride Park. The other relegated team and early table toppers Peterborough travel to Plymouth. We, of course, take on here at the Valley on Tuesday. Elsewhere in the playoff places, Ipswich welcome MK Dons to Portman Road, while Bolton are at newly promoted Port Vale. Curbs, any standout games for you? And if not, just want to touch on MK Dons.
I'm looking at our fixture. You know, we're next to each other in that league. Yeah. And it's a big game today. You know, 2 clubs that are fancied for promotion, or at least the playoffs. I forgot about Peterborough a little bit. You know, a team that's got relegated. Yeah. You know, and unluckily relegated, I suppose. And
look at what Rotherham did last year.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we're all talking about the Sheffield Wednesdays and the Ipswiches and whatever. It's a real tough league, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm looking at our fixture today. You know, we've had Derby, Accrington away are up there with us. You know, Accrington away was a hard game. This is a hard game today. If we can get anything from today, Ben's been talking about momentum and confidence. It'll be a real confidence boost, I think, if we get anything today.
Yeah, I mean, I think Barnsley are the same. No one's really spoke about Barnsley being in the mix, and I think they probably will be coming again. But I quite like the Ipswich MK Dons fixture because MK Dons have started with 2 straight losses.
Absolutely.
Ipswich are on 4 points. They're expected to be up there. And it's a big day for MK Dons. You don't want to be 3 without a win.
How big a blow would that be, Curbs? Was it from a managerial point of view? Where you're one of the favourites and you've lost your first 3 matches.
Yeah. And, you know, is that an hangover from last season? And, you know, or did they get complacent in pre-season? Yeah, it's not going to be nice if you've not won after 3 games.
Listen, we've talked about getting some WhatsApp messages in. We've got some in. First one, just grabbed my husband's phone. Laugh out loud. It's his birthday today. Can you give Dave Goldsmith a happy birthday on Charlton TV from his loving wife Sav and family in Salt Lake City, and from the guys in the studio as well.
Happy birthday, Dave.
Birthday.
Age 47 and 37, a Charlton fan. Much appreciated, Sav. Let's ask another one here. Afternoon, lads. Scotty, do you remember the lovely MG you had? I do remember. The MG BGT was in 1966. I loved it. And get Donny Gorman on at the home game to Doncaster, please, this season. That's from Greenie. One more. Can you please ask Curbs if Auckland addicts can invite him out for a few pints next time he visits his family in Auckland?
Sister lives in North Harbour.
And has he got any? Has he got any plans of doing this in the near future?
Yes.
Okay, you're not telling us when.
No. Well, it's round about Christmas or just after Christmas.
Okay, perfect.
I'm working hard on it, but Mrs. C's the one. I'm working hard.
We're going to miss you, Curbs, but we don't blame you in the middle of winter here, middle of summer there. Also, tell him that a very good mate of mine knows Keely Chitty.
All right, yeah.
Is that your niece?
Yeah.
Yeah, who lives out in Auckland as well. So, yeah, keep them coming in, that's all I can say. OK, let's get to club news updates now then, shall we? There's a few things to talk about. Tickets for Tuesday's home game against Plymouth are on sale, with adult prices starting at £23 up until the day before the game. Season tickets also remain on sale, with prices starting at just £285 for adults. That equates to just £12.40 per league match, and that's across the full season. After the Plymouth game on Tuesday, August the 16th, we're back at the Valley on Saturday as we face Cambridge on the 20th. Head to booking.cafc.co.uk to get your tickets for both matches now. Well, supporters who reside outside of the UK and Ireland are reminded that they can purchase a subscription for Charlton TV for just £220 per year or £35 per month recurring. That subscription will allow you to watch every men's first team league game live, as well as a host of other matches from our under-21s, under-18s and women's sides. The cost per match of the annual subscription breaks down to less than £5 per game, which is based on only watching the men's first team league games. Last season, Charlton TV streamed exactly 99 matches across the club's different teams, so you certainly get your money's worth with the subscription. Well, you may have seen, and we've just had a few questions out already this afternoon. Delighted to say that you, the fans, can get in contact with us in the Charlton TV studio via WhatsApp this season. If you have any more questions to myself, Curbs or Brownie, then send it in by WhatsApping the number on screen now, and we could read it out live on air. We look forward to hearing your views. Well, as we said a little earlier, it was a great Carabao Cup victory over QPR on Tuesday night, and that has earned us a trip to Walsall in round 2. That fixture will be contested on the week commencing Monday, August the 22nd, and ticketing information for the game will be released in due course. We'd like to wish Karen Hills and her Charlton women's squad the very best of luck for their game against West Ham tomorrow. They host the Hammers at the Oakwood in Crayford, and adult tickets are priced at just £9 each. Look, I think it's fair to say it's been a fantastic summer for women's football in this country, so if you can, please get down to the Oakwood tomorrow and offer the Addicts your support. Well, Charlton's under-21s team got their league season underway last week. They beat Burnley 3-1 on Monday afternoon, with midfielder Jeremy Santos scoring the pick of the goals with his fine individual effort. Now, I would call it a fine individual effort. Someone alongside me would probably pick the poor defending.
Yeah, I mean, I've not gone back far enough, but I don't know what the left-back's been taught to do, but he's got about 40 yards outside of him, and he shows him in, well, he lets him go inside by dangling a little leg.
There we go. What did I tell you?
Well, you wait till the Henry goal.
Tony Ladapo and Jason Adigan were also on target for the Addicts in Lancashire. They get their home campaign underway this Monday when they face Sheffield United at Welling United's Parkview Road. And Charlton TV subscribers will be able to watch the game live. And finally, we will be launching some new half-time entertainment here at the Valley when we play Plymouth on Tuesday. Over to you, sir, Thomas Sangard.
Hey there. Now we're going to have some fun. We need all Charlton fans here at the Valley on Tuesday against Plymouth. Not just to support the team, but also to get a chance to get a free beer or free drink. Yes, you heard right. A free beer or free drink. So this is how it works. So I'm standing here at the halfway line, and one of our men's first team players are going to kick the ball to see if he can hit the crossbar. If he hits the crossbar, every home supporter in the stadium here on Tuesday will get a free beer or free drink. So get to our website, book your ticket, and read about the details. See you on Tuesday.
A Charlton player will have one shot to hit the crossbar from the halfway line. If the player hits the crossbar, every Charlton fan in attendance will get a free beer at the Addicts' next home game against Cambridge on Saturday. Get your tickets now, booking.cafc.co.uk. Visit cafc.co.uk on Monday to read the full details. Curbs, with your cultured right foot, do you still think you could do that from the halfway line?
Not now. I might have had a chance.
It's one of Brownie's clearances, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to be interested to see who it is.
Being under 10.
I'll be interested to see who it is who gets the short straw to come out and do that at half-time.
First one up. It's not easy hitting the crossbar from the 18 yard.
Obviously, ain't going to be one of the players that's playing.
No.
So it's got to be somebody who's got to be warming up and,
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe
Can you imagine if it
bench.
drops like 20 yards short? There's going to be boos going round. Fix.
I'm sure it'll go well, and I'm sure they'll hit, and everyone can have a free beer or drink if you're
I want
under
to be there
18,
when
of
the player
course.
gets picked. No, not me.
Okay, earlier this week, Ben Garner bolstered his attacking options with the on-loan signing from Crystal Palace of Jezerin Raksaki. Let's hear from the man now.
Jez, welcome to the Valley. How does it feel to be a Charlton player?
It's really good, waiting a long time for this. I'm just thankful to God, thankful to everyone for making it happen. I'm just excited to get started.
You're a young player. You've got a lot of people excited when the rumours have been mentioned about you potentially coming to the club. What can fans expect to see from you? What are your strengths as a player?
I like to say I'm really direct. I like to take players on, create chances, score goals, assist. I just like to entertain the fans and enjoy being on the pitch.
And there's a few lads I understand that you know already here. That must make it a little bit easier. Who do you know?
I know Aaron Henry, Ryan Innes, Tyrese Campbell and Miles Lieben. So it's good to have them around, showing me around. It's good.
So you had your first training session this morning, so how was that, getting to know the lads? It's obviously been a hot one here in South London today, but have you settled in well on that first day? Did you find it a good session?
Yeah, the lads are all really welcoming, showing me around, helping me out in training, so it's really good. Really happy to be here.
And you obviously spoke to the manager. What did he speak to you about? What does he expect from you this season?
Yeah, he expects me to work hard for the team, but at the same time he can help me out, express myself, telling me that I'm a good player, so I should just do what I do normally and everything will be fine.
And sort of importantly, what do you hope to get from this season? Obviously you're a young player, you've had a few first-team experiences at Crystal Palace, but you must be just wanting to knuckle down and get as many first-team senior appearances under your belt this season.
Yeah, I'm just trying to improve every time, get as many games as I can, many goals, assists, just help the team as much as I can.
And you've had a look around the Valley today. I mean, you said you've been here before when you were very young, but I mean, you must be looking forward to seeing this place full of fans and showing what you can do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been there once and I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I just can't wait to get started.
And of course, Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday is coming up hot on the heels of you signing today. I'm assuming you're fit, you're ready to go if you're called upon?
Yeah, I'm fit. I've been working hard, had a good pre-season. I'm ready to go when needed.
Chaps, he's still very young, not yet 20, perhaps comes across that way as well, but those type of players can be kind of shy of talking, but actually out on the pitch, that's where they do their talking, don't they?
And also, the good thing is that he's got 3 or 4 people he already knows here, so he's going to have someone to talk to. He ain't just going to be on his own. And
that helps for a youngster, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and I think the way he conducted himself there, all he kept on about is I want to play, I want to help the team, I want to score goals and try and make goals. Yeah, good.
I wasn't sure if he was excited or not.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a young lad.
Playing for Palace is obviously...
Well, he's obviously made a step up, hasn't he? Have to say
absolutely.
that one. How important do you feel it was that we bolstered our attacking options?
Yeah, I think we've got some good attacking options actually as it stands, but there's always room for more attacking options within any squad. I think that's, teams that are there or thereabouts at the end of the season have normally got 3 or 4 good strikers and attacking wide players. What I would say is that that's probably not at this point where our issue lies for me. We've given up 38 attempts at our goal in the 2 league games, which when we listened to Ben Garner earlier, I felt where he was saying we need to improve, that's the area we need to improve. But we are very much front-loaded, aren't we, at the moment? I think that's how he's going to win his games, very much on the front foot.
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Last season he finished as joint top scorer in the Premier League 2 under-23s, and looking at the players, if we have a look at the graphic there, on that list, the division's other joint top scorer, James McAtee, has got a championship loan move to Sheffield United from Manchester City. A fella in Balogun has got a loan move to French Ligue 1, Reims, from Arsenal. 6 of the 10 players in total are playing senior football at a high level next season. Do those goals suggest that, it comes with a bit of pedigree?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we all know it's a massive step up from 23s to first team. I think League One's a fantastic platform, actually. I worked at Brighton for 2 years, and we were in League One at the time as a first team, and we managed to get 5 of our players into the first team, and they stayed in there. And I think League One's one of the leagues where you can do that. If your kids are good enough, you can put them in, you can promote them, and it's a great platform to improve. But it is nothing like 23s football. It's not. But these lads have got to get into someone's first team at some point, and this gives them a great opportunity to do so.
Curbs, if you were Patrick Vieira, what would you be saying to him about this loan move?
Well, I think obviously they're going to keep a real busy eye on him, I would have thought, and it's handy that he's not too far away.
No.
You know, you can send a player on loan to the Midlands and you've lost contact with him. So firstly, he's not got to move house or digs or whatever, how he's living. They can keep an eye on him, they can come and watch him play. So it's the perfect scenario. I've said this so often about how attractive we should be to the bigger London clubs, the Premier League clubs in London.
Yeah.
And why not send your young players here? And as Steve just said, you know, this league it's men. You're playing against men, and you're playing at some really nice stadiums. Under 23s football, some of it's on the training ground, some of it's not.
Game,
yeah, it's not. It's not the right atmosphere.
Some of it's it's theory almost, isn't it?
And he's going to
Rather
grow up, and he's going to
yeah.
hear different voices now to what he's been used to at Palace in terms of the coaches and the players that he's playing with. So yeah, it's a win-win, and I hope he does well, because I'm not with Steve on talking. Well, I think we've got enough going forward. I think we need a bit more.
I think we need a striker.
I think we need a bit more.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. We've got Chucks to come back, and we've been light as in terms of just centre forwards, but we seem to be very loaded right and left.
I tend to look. I'd like to have two centre backs at least get 5 goals each, if you can. Give them that target. 2 centre halves, corners, and Innes. We've got to be looking at getting 5 or at least assisting in a few. Then you need a midfield player to get in double figures, and then another one perhaps getting near it, and then you need your boys up top to all contribute double figures. I'm looking at where can we get the goals at the moment, and I'm not seeing too many at the moment from the back four, too many from the midfield, although Fraser scored last week, and you know, I want to see them front boys firing.
Well, Jez has travelled, but he's not starting or on the bench, but I'm sure he will be chomping at the bits very soon indeed. OK, Addicks defender Sean Clare heads to his former club today, Sheffield Wednesday, and Charlton TV caught up with him yesterday to look ahead to the game.
Sean Clare has been a really positive first couple of weeks to the season. 3 games in now, you've been involved in all 3. How do you reflect on the start of this season?
Yeah, I think it's been a positive start. I think there's more to come from the team, more for us to work on. But like you said, it's a positive start. Good point in the end away. Obviously, we would have liked the 3 points, but a good point away. And then we did well to stay in the game against Derby and then improve second half and get the win. So yeah, we played some tough teams. QPR in that mix as well, and I think we've shown out well. But yeah, I believe there's still more to come from this group, and we can kick on.
Do you think? I mean, it was important after that Accrington game. It was a good point, as you mentioned, but it kind of in the moment felt like a bit of a loss because of those 3 points slipping away 90 seconds after scoring. But then going against Derby and getting a result against someone who's really fancied in this division for promotion this season, do you think that sets down a bit of a marker early on? It is only a couple of games, but does it show what we think we're going to be about?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Accrington, we were all disappointed. We came in and it almost felt like a loss. Everyone was kind of heads down a little bit, but we got our heads back up. We looked at what the problem was, and we're trying to stop that from happening again, because no one wants to feel that feeling again, especially so late in the game. And then, yeah, the win against Derby, obviously, it was a tough game. They're a very good side, a lot of good players. I think we showed a resilience that we haven't shown previously, to stay in the game and then go and nick it and put our stamp on the game as well. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit of a marker. Like you said, it's still early days. Still a lot of games to come. We've got another tough one this weekend, but I think there's a lot of belief that we can go there and get a result.
The manager said that the first half against Derby wasn't really what we were about. It didn't really show what we are about. In the second half, of course, we did come out and show how good we can be and how good we are. That almost seemed to continue into the QPR game on Tuesday, didn't it? Against a really good side, a championship side that didn't make as many changes as we did, off the back of a really good result for them against Middlesbrough that they did at the weekend. Again, do we take that momentum into Saturday? Is it all about just rolling those performances into the next one? Sheffield Wednesday's a hard place to go. Hills was a big old stadium to impose on. But again, QPR is another example of something that puts us in a good position.
Yeah, I think we've got to keep building on these performances. Like you said, we built on the second half at Derby into QPR and put in a very good performance against a very good side. A lot of good players in that team. A lot of people who played Prem and stuff like that. So I think we just got to keep building on it. We've got to have the belief that we can go to Sheffield Wednesday and get something from the game. I think there's there's a belief within us internally, but I think also we can feel a bit from the fans that they believe as well, which is massive for us. So yeah, we've just got to go there, try and improve on what we have been doing, because like I said, I think there's more to come. I think we're still in the early stages of how the gaffer wants us to play, and we've shown in glimpses how good it can be. So I think, well, once we keep doing that, we'll show it a lot more.
As we mentioned, Hillsborough, a famous old stadium, somewhere you know very well, as an old stomping ground. Does that give it a little bit more incentive for you to go there and show what you're about on Saturday?
Yeah, to an extent. I'm looking forward to go back. Obviously, I missed it last season. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I've not been back since I left. Don't know what the reception will be like. Might be none. Who knows? But so yeah, no, I'm looking forward to go back. I think it'll be a good game. It'll be a good test. They've got a lot of good players as well. They're always in and amongst it. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the game.
And as far as the fans are concerned, you've given them a mention already in this interview, but they went to Accrington in their numbers despite train issues. There's train issues again on Saturday. We'll still have a decent following up there. Again, it's somewhere where they're going to have to make a lot of noise, because we know the Sheffield Wednesday fans will be. Do you have a message for those supporters that are making the journey up there in their numbers?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an amazing feeling to have such a big backing. Even if there wasn't train strikes, do you know what I mean? And we went away to Aki and we knew there were train strikes. We didn't know how many would turn up, and they came out in numbers, filling up not only the away end but coming round into the other side as well. So yeah, from me, just a big thank you. Hopefully we can get as many, if not more, up to Sheffield as well. And yeah, just keep making noise, keep supporting us, and we'll keep doing our best.
Yeah, great to hear from Sean there. A new season and a new hairstyle as well. Brownie, could you pull that off, do you think?
No.
Yeah, he's got one there.
No, I couldn't pull his arms and biceps off either.
Actually, take a look at this.
Go on. Yeah, definitely got to pull it off. Definitely got to pull it off. Hey.
Curbs, I think you're doing better than Brownie, I have to say.
That's the face I remember.
Yeah. That's the look as well, isn't it? Yeah. The finger's about to come out. Look, we saw Sean in midfield last season. He came as a midfielder. We saw him in the back three last season. He's now playing at right back. How do we think he's doing?
Accomplished, yeah. I think, you know, obviously we brought him in as a central midfielder.
Yeah.
You know, I think everybody's forgotten that, but and it would be tough for him, I think, to get in that position. So it's a bit of a blessing for Sean that we've utilised his versatility, and he was excellent, I thought, by and large, at the right side of centre half position. Done us a right favour last year, filling in there, and actually exceeded all expectations for me. Things I've seen as a right back, certainly gets caught squared on. You know, you can't expect him to just fill in there and be brilliant at every aspect.
It's a very technical position, Brownie, isn't it?
It's one of the hardest.
It is.
It's
so underrated.
Half, I think.
It's so underrated. Absolutely.
Yeah. But there's a bit of work to be done. He does get squared off. But I tell you what, he does very well. He uses his body very, very well. Like, because aerially you can be under pressure at the back post. He uses his body very, very, very well to blot out people that are better in the air than him. And he's an intelligent footballer. But there are just certain little aspects, 1v1 sometimes, where there's little diving or he takes a risk.
As well,
absolutely, very comfortable in possession.
To have a versatile player like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely. But you know, Ben's talking about playing out from the back, and he will take chances. We will get caught, but Sean Clare definitely he's comfortable on the ball, so he won't be too phased. And he said it there, didn't he? He said we're still trying to play the way the manager wants us to play. So you know, perhaps we could have asked him another question there. What we're not doing right then, because as I say, Ben's been in 6 weeks now, 7 weeks, and you know, you need a little bit longer really to bend everything in there that you want.
Okay, quick question here from the WhatsApp. Are you a fan, Curbs, of the new 4-3-3 formation, and will we be successful this season if we implement it correctly? That's from Curtis.
Yeah, I think most teams are playing 4-3-3. If you're going to play 4-3-3, them two wide men have got to be really pacey for me, and they've got to chip in goals. You know, the thing about Kirk, he's not really hit the ground running yet, and we need some goals from him. And Jaisimi, when he's been playing, he's not really got on the end of anything. So if you're going to play 4-3-3 and you're going to have the lone striker down the middle, then them two wide men have got to chip in goals. And
so central midfielders.
Yeah, but if Kirk's crossing it, then Corey Blackett's got to be in the 6-yard box. If Corey Blackett's crossing it, then Kirk's got to be in the 6-yard box. They've got to really force themselves to be the extra man to get in there.
It's a subject in terms of formations that we could talk about for hours. We better move on. But I do remember Pep Guardiola making Raheem Sterling and pull him to one side in training, saying about getting in the far post, and he almost doubled his tally in terms of goals. So they look simple, but you have to be there, don't you? OK, look, we've enjoyed a very productive week here at the Valley. First Derby, then QPR in the Cup. Let's take a look back at both games then, shall we? Starting with Derby. Look, Brownie, first home game of the season, really important to get the first win of this season, but we have to say, Joe Walcott again, he kept us in the game against Accrington, and he did the same against Derby, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was man of the match. I don't think he was even in dispute, really, because without him in this first half performance, we're dead and buried. The game's over, and the fact we're still in it, you know, is by and large. I mean, that save there, I didn't think got enough credit. It's going the wrong way, and it deflects from no more than 3 yards.
I spoke to Keith Peacock on the way in, as I always do, Sir Keith, and he said he was made some Banksy-type saves, and the performance says it all.
Praise indeed, yeah. But what I would say is, you know, that they were guilty of missing as well. I think Collins has a chance that we might see in a bit, but that was our best chance, and that is anywhere down into the ground, and we've scored. But, you know, we still should have gone in 3-1.
We were better in the second half.
Much better. Massive improvement. But it's what I'm saying, these spaces weren't there in the first 45. Yeah, I didn't talk about that enough in commentary, actually. Because what you focus on, is the end product. But that ball from Kirk was excellent, and a great run from Albie Morgan from deep in behind their back line. Crucial that our midfield makes those.
Yeah, Curbs. I mean, look, you know, it has been a good week at the Valley, and you said many times about the importance of our home form. This header here,
yeah.
But I mean, how great is it to start the season with successive home wins?
Absolutely, and you know, if we can get anything today, then we've had a good start. I think four games. I'd like to think 4 league games, but 4 games, you know, if you've got a good return, everyone feels confident. And I've said it before, the reason we've gone and got a lone player this week is because we started all right, I think. You know, we are more attractive. And, you know, if we can get a bit of a run going, then, you know, I'm sure that ain't the end of people coming in before the window closes.
I mean, you've seen both games. Have we seen a different side to the team in both those games, of defending against Derby? Could say almost hanging on in there, but then attacking versus QPR, because it was a good performance here, wasn't it?
It was a really open game. It fizzled out in both boxes really a little bit, but it was good to see the players that were brought in and given an opportunity to play at the Valley, if you like, and a first team game. I mean, when they scored, you know, with minutes to go, you think that's it, that's over and done with.
That's my worry a little bit. That's come from us driving out, giving the ball away, and that's something Ben Garner wants to work on, wants to make us more comfortable at. You know, we turn over the ball too much in our own half at the moment.
So staying on the home form then, Brownie, if you can have a good start at the Valley, how much of a platform does it actually give you? I mean, no, forget that. Let's talk about Aaron.
Yeah,
I mean, that is some finish.
Yeah, and there's an angle. There is one angle that shows it from quite a distance, but it shows how much he's put that back across the goal.
Yeah.
It's an incredible strike.
Great technique.
I mean, that number 4 is lucky they're not showing that again because he's getting crucified.
Well, this is their goal, isn't it? Yeah. Nice,
That's just one. Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of that, you know, you're almost there. And we talk about where we're sat in terms of confidence and morale. These make big differences. These results. We were going out. Aaron scored a fantastic goal. We go through on penalties, and suddenly you're 4 points in the league, and you're through to the next round of the cup. And what you can't measure, sat here, and I've said this to thousands of people, you cannot measure confidence, morale within the group. Yeah. It makes a huge difference. And all these little moments where we've equalised late, got through on a penalty shootout, takes us into today with much more confidence and morale than we had after the Accrington game.
Yeah. Being brutally honest, Accrington, I thought, despite what Miles scoring late on, we were lucky to come away with a draw. Derby, not very good in the first half, but yet we've come away with 4 points. And then we've beaten a championship side in the Cup as well. It could have gone the other way, but it hasn't. So then in terms of confidence, as Brownie talks about, and momentum, how important could that be?
You must prefer that going to Sheffield Wednesday today than not getting them points on the board. I really think this is a big game. Full sorts of. I think the interviewer asked Ben about, you know, can we lay a marker down if we get a result with Sheffield Wednesday? I think we can.
Absolutely.
If we can get something here today, especially 3 points, then that's Derby and Sheffield Wednesday. We just took 6 points off of 2 really fancy clubs.
Yeah. I also think, though, what that 4 points has done has allowed us to not be too nervous or critical if we don't win today with Plymouth and Cambridge coming up. I think if we'd have been 1 point and lose at Sheffield today, suddenly there's a nervousness creeps in. I don't want to
go Sheffield back 12 months.
Right, and I don't want to go up to Sheffield and think we can lose.
Yeah.
I think Ben Garner's right in terms of the positivity and the psychology he's using in terms of the mindset going up that we can win this game, so that's how we're going to attack it. But the 4 points has given us that little cushion because we don't have a good record there at all, and they're extremely strong at home. This any point today is an excellent step forward.
Let's have a look at today's teams then, shall we? Just the one change for us, where it's where is he? He is George Dobson up there. Those numbers are throwing me. Sheffield Wednesday, Brownie. I mean, let's talk about them because they are seen as promotion favourites. They have got a really deep squad.
Yeah.
And after what happened to them at the end of last season, they'll be absolutely desperate to make sure they finish in the top 2, won't they? Which is where the bookies have them.
Well, they were pushing really late last year. They were strong. They had an indifferent start. They've got a very experienced squad, actually, Scotty. So, you know, they've not gone for a mixture of youth and experience. They've gone for 26, 27, 30-year-olds. And they have strength in depth. What I like about them is they're extremely strong at home. If you remember the home game last year, they tore us to pieces for 20, 25 minutes, and we never recovered. Expect that again. Their home form is very, very good. I think they've had one loss in 20 at home. They're very, very good. And what they do look to do, they've got this back three, strong midfield that can play, but one of their strikers looks to turn you around almost every single time they win possession back. And they don't mind either, Scotty, sitting without the ball for long periods. They went up to MK Dons, 35% possession, still had 16 opportunities at goal. So they're comfortable sitting in that defensive slot and then turning the turnover into an attack very, very quickly.
Yeah, they just had the one change, the same as us actually. Jack Hunt comes in for the injured Akin Fainwo. But they have got some very good players, Curbs. I mean, it's a proper stadium like here, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know, you expect them to be in the top 6 easy this year, like last. And I think they're a side that, once again, I go back to attractability. They'd be very attractive if they're in with a shout at getting players in over the window in Christmas to strengthen. So yeah, this is a real test for us. We need to start well.
Do we need to get around Barry Bannon? Is he still the man to try and stop?
Well, he does control the game if he gets the opportunity to do that. So who's going to go after him? I should imagine it's going to be Dobson.
Yeah, you would imagine so. I think we do need to stop him, but also Dele Bashiru. He's scoring goals at the moment, and he's having a lot of attempts at goal. They're from distance, but he seems to be having a big impact in the games at the moment.
Perfect timing, just as they're coming out as well. Look, Brandon, there's one more WhatsApp question. It's come in. It's from Ant. Brownie, in your opinion, who was the worst dressed player at the club? And do you know what? There's a laughing emoji straight after it as well.
Yeah, it's probably...
It's a lovely question.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example, right? So at the end of the season, Brighty did all these caricatures, and you would have probably got James Bond, you know, in your caricature with a little, shaker not stirred. I got the big issue salesman. So that kind of sums it up a little bit.
There we go. Maybe we can ask Ant the question, you controlled the music in the dressing room post-match as well. Look, you know, how big a test is this today for us, Curbs? I think it is. Will it tell us exactly where we're at?
Well, it won't tell us exactly where we're at, but I think if we can get a result here today, then confidence will be sky high going into 2 games next week. And then, you know, we can start looking, if we can cement a top 6 position after 4 or 5 games, that's what we're after. And then, you know, that's every week you're looking to stay there.
Yeah. Would you take a point though, Brownie?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a tough start, and actually the victory against Derby was a superb 3 points for us. You know, it got the stadium, second half in particular, a lot of good vibes around the stadium. This is altogether a different game. I think they're very, very strong, particularly on this patch.
Final question as well, Jayden Stockley. Not his fault that he hasn't scored. How do we get the balls towards?
He's been a little bit isolated.
He has been isolated.
I don't think
how do we get him more involved?
Yeah, I don't think the attacking midfield players got near him too often to make that extra man. And listen, everyone knows about Stockley now in this league, and I should imagine
not easy when you're the lone striker and you have almost 2 defenders on you.
Yeah, and I think if you're the opposing manager, if you can dominate Stockley, half the battle.
Yeah, I think one of the things that he's probably waiting for that hasn't arrived just yet is more supply from crossing positions.
Absolutely.
Because we know, listen, they've conceded 3 goals. They were all against Portsmouth and they were all headers. So, he's got a good chance today if we can supply him.
Look, 4 points from 2 matches has been a very good start so far, but that's all it is, a promising start. If we can get even a point from the League One promotion favourites today, I think that would be a very good result indeed. Let's get up to our commentary team up there at Hillsborough. A very good afternoon to Terry Smith and Greg Stubley.
Afternoon, Scott. Afternoon, Curbs. Afternoon, Brownie. And welcome to Hillsborough.